Hey there, SGK users, Poker here again. And this time we're going to do a game animation sample uh, integration with Survival Game Kit in the probably easiest and best way possible. It'll give you the opportunity to pretty much use any mesh you want, and it all works. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the very first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go into our game animation sample blue. You definitely want to already have your game animation sample project installed and everything, because we want to go in here to the config and then just copy the default gameplay tags. Unless, of course, you have your own gameplay tags, then you'd want to merge these together or manually add them. I'm assuming if you already have gameplay tags, you know how to do that. So just look at the tags you need, add them into your ini. So we've pulled this out of the game animation sample, and now we're going to go back into our actual project that we're working on here, which is this one. And we're just going to, wait, oh yeah, I wanted config, not content. And we're just going to paste those gameplay tags in right now. Now, they're not going to be working in the project right now because we need to restart it to do that. But we need to enable some plugins, so we're going to go ahead and restart it anyway. So go ahead and open up your plugins, look for chooser. And then we want, what was it? Trajectory. Motion trajectory. It's experimental. Yes, we know that. And then lastly, we want warping. What we're really looking for is the motion warping beta. I'm not really sure if we need animation warping or not, but we're going to go ahead and turn it on just because it's better to have and not need than to need and not have. So go ahead and restart. All right, now that we've restarted, we'll just go ahead and double check, make sure that our stuff came through. I'm sure it did. Gameplay tags, manage gameplay tags. Yep, they're all there. All right, so we have our tags in, we have our plugins set up. Next step is going to be to, oh, I guess I don't have it open yet. Let's see here. Go ahead and open up our game animation sample. All right, now that our game animation sample project is open, what we're going to do is there's several things we want here. Most important, we're going to go to characters here. Now, normally we would just do the UFN mannequin stuff, but all of these, we want the rigs out of these, because that's how this works. It uses a control rig to change it. And we're just going to go ahead and get them all, just so we have some options to show around here in this tutorial. And we're basically just doing it exactly how they have it set up in here. So we're just going to go ahead and, hopefully this will get us everything. So we got audio, got our character, modifiers, notifies, camera stuff. We're not going to be messing with their camera stuff, but we'll just leave it in anyway. I'm not going to delete anything out of here, actually, I don't think. But yeah, we just want to make sure that we got all of our mannequins, rigs, animations, and we're going to go ahead and use their input as well. It's just set up a little bit differently. I tried setting up the movement using diffuses where it has there's a separate movement button for each type of movement. Like move forward has its own button, move right has its own, whereas the way that this is set up in the game animation sample is that moving forward, backwards, left, and right are all on the same trigger. So like I said, I tried setting it up using the multiple triggers that SGK has, and I don't see why it didn't work correctly. It acted weird, so it just works much better using their input. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy their input, and then we'll just add our SGK actions that we need, like interact and all that, into the thingy here. And we're going to take the level prototyping because that has the little blocks that we jump. One of these days we'll set it up to where you don't need to have those blocks, but for now we're going to go ahead and do it that way. So basically you just copy everything. That should be everything, I do believe. Yeah, that should be enough. So we want to go ahead and put that into our project. And then I'm going to pause this while it's migrating here. It's just going to take a minute. All right, now that everything's migrated over, we can pretty much go ahead and just close the game animation sample. I don't think we're going to need it anymore. And then we are going to go into our project here. Just make sure that we got everything. Sure looks like it. So, next thing we're going to do here is just go ahead and we want to see this, make sure that there's no issues with our character here. So open up the game mode and then just set the character to our sandbox character. Now when we play an editor with this character, we're going to end up with a bunch of errors at the end because the game instance is not set up to recognize this guy, but that's alright because we're not worried about that right now. We just want to make sure it works. So it definitely seems like it's working. Have no footstep sounds though, but we'd be able to fix that. Alright. Let's just go ahead and double check to make sure that our animation notifies came through on here. They should have. I don't see why they wouldn't. Let's check run. Yeah, they're all good. Alright. So, now that that's all working, doesn't seem like we have any issues or errors anyway. What we're going to do is go ahead and go into our SGK character, open him up, and we are going to reparent it to the sandbox guy. Now, if you have your SGK character reparented to something else, that's up to you to figure out where you want to add in the sandbox character in the chain, but we do want to have it added to the sandbox character, right? And first thing we're going to need to do is just go ahead and make sure that everything begin play is there. On our master character, we want to make sure that anything that might be being used by our sandbox character, we are adding the parent call to it, like for the possessed. As you can see, begin play already has one. See, I think that, let's go ahead and take a look at per frame. Yeah, it would use a tick. I think that's pretty much all we need for now. All right, so go ahead and go into the input section. We're just going to disconnect all these, so just break node links. Because we're not going to be using these controls. We're using the controls from the character. Everything. Alright, so yeah, we don't need to look either. Should be everything, I think. Yeah. That's everything we need disconnected. Now, it's not going to work right now, but we'll go ahead and just take a look. If we go back to using our master character here. Turn in place, that's about it. Alright, so next what we want to do is go into our animation blueprint here. Third person animation blueprint. Let's take a look at what we need. Trying to remember what all we had to add here. Okay. All right, if you go into, let's see, where is it? It's going to be, where's the retarget? That should have come with, yeah, it looks like we might not have gotten it. There's supposed to be an animation blueprint here that came with this. Doesn't look like we got it, so it looks like I have to open up game animation sample again here. Alright, so now that's back open. Now, just for the record here, let's see. We're not actually using this blueprint. We're just going to copy the stuff off of it. So, go and move this to the other screen. And what we're going to do is, the way I did it, okay, we used this uses the initialization and the update, where SGK has them split up, initialize animation there, and then they have the update here. So the easiest thing to do is just make this into a function. So we'll just make a function, and we'll call it, what is this? We'll call it setup by case, or setup. Let's see, what is it doing exactly? Setup retargets, there we go. All right. And then we're going to just go on to our generic retarget from game animation sample. Copy all that. And then we're going to paste it in here. We're going to create the variables we need here. All of them are actual variables, not local. So just create all these. Hook it up. All right. Now what we're going to do is go into our update function here. We're going to go ahead and remove this because we're not going to need this, I don't think. Pretty sure we don't need this. And then we'll go ahead and just add our setup retargets here. Then we'll go to the begin play. And we'll just go ahead and add it in the middle here before the component ready thing, just because it probably needs to go right away. So, there's that. And now you're probably saying, what is this setup retarget thing for? Well, we'll show you in a minute here. But let's go ahead and get the rest of the stuff that we need off that blueprint. So, let's get retarget profile. We can just copy the event here. Or function, I mean. Paste it in. Everything should be good on it, because we already recreated these two variables here. Shouldn't need to change anything there. I don't believe. Let's just double check. Yeah, that's all. That should be good. Yeah, that's pretty much all we need there. Add those two functions. Let's set up retargets, get retarget profile. And then we got 4 new variables here. And then what these do is, what it does is it's looking for a tag. And it decides which retargeter to use depending upon which tag it finds on our thing. So we can just copy this, since we already have all of these guys in our project. And they should all be there. Why is this not scrolling? Uh-oh. It didn't like that for some reason. The kit's like locked up right now. Hopefully it doesn't crash. I'm going to pause it till it becomes awake again. So, all right, it finally did its thing here. I guess we didn't copy these two, whatever they are. How did we not get to MetaHuman? It's got a MetaHumans folder here. Huh, it didn't copy over any of the character information, just the face stuff. Interesting. Oh well, no biggie. We're not too worried about that. All we really want is this one right here, so we're just going to go ahead and delete these. Well, we'll leave Echo in there so we can just show that it actually works. How easy it is to change them out. So, those are there. It's pretty much all we need to do at this point in here as far as adding anything. But what we do need to do is go to the animation graph disconnect locomotion. And we want to, what is it? Retarget. Retarget pose from mesh. All right. And then what we want to do is over here on the IK retargeter asset. Let's see, what do we do with that? Oops, wrong thing. Yeah, where is it? All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, so we should be, yeah, there we go. IK retargeter, add that. And then we want this custom retarget profile. That's going to be our get target profile function that we made over here. Right there. And let's see, is there any special settings on this? Nope. Stays like that. Hook that up here. Now you see we're in a T-pose. That's not a big deal. It does that. All right, so now what we need to do is go back into our master character here. And what we want to do, this is reparented. Yes, we reparented the sandbox character. So we want to go ahead and reset this mesh to our UEFN mannequin. Same thing for that guy. We want to go ahead and we're going to add another skeletal mesh. And let's just call this the driven mesh. And we want to make sure that it's on our mesh, which it is. And can we rename this? No, we can't. Can we rename it on the sandbox character? No, we can't because it's the default character mesh built into the character. Oh well. Oh, what we can do is just add a tooltip here and we'll just call this the driving mesh. So, basically this mesh, which is our UEFN guy, he's going to be doing most of the work here with this animation blueprint. But then on our driven mesh, we're going to set that to Manny. Make sure we get the right one. We're going to go ahead and use the one from Survival Game Kit. Should be fine. And for our animation blueprint, we want to use our third-person animation that we set up there. And then next, what we're going to do is go into construction script on our character here. We're going to go ahead and disconnect this right here. We don't need this here, but we're going to put this here, the driven mesh. I guess we kind of do still need that for the first person body. Like, at the end of this, once we have the game animation sample set up, I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to a true first person tutorial. It'll be like a second part, but it's going to be directly off of this one. So, I mean, if you don't want to have a true first person when this tutorial's over, you're pretty much done. So, but I'm going to change it up later. So this will get deleted later, but go ahead and leave it up. So all we're doing is adding the animations. So let's take a look. Probably not going to work because there's still something we have to do. Yeah, see. Let's see. All right, so what we need to do is go on to our survival game character here. The character. We want to go ahead and make this mesh hidden in game and set it to invisible or not visible. And this is on the mesh, right? Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's go back into our sandbox character. Some stuff we need to get rid of. Get rid of the spring arm, that, and that. All right. And we can just disconnect this event because we're not using it. All right. So, do we need to set up anything in here? I think we might. Let's see. This should work. Unless I'm missing something. Alright, we'll try it again here. There is something that is missing, but we'll get to that in a minute. Actually, we go ahead and take care of it now. If you notice, we had that little error pop up. See, nothing's working. About the component length set to 0 of the IK retargeter. That's because when it's looking in here, it's not finding anything. So what we need to do is go into our master character, and on our driven mesh, we want to go into the tags here. And we're going to take a look. That is the Manny. So we're going to copy those tags right there. And we're going to paste them in right there. And let's take a look now. Alright, so we got the animations, but we're not moving for some reason. So let's go ahead. There is one thing that I do know that we need to fix in here. Let's do that real quick. So go back into your third person animation blueprint, go to the animation graph. And you want to go to the end here. And we want to get rid of this. We don't need that. That's going to cause the feet not to move. This still want to fix, we'll still won't be able to move right now, but we'll figure that out. So first thing we'd want to do is go to our, let's go to our sandbox character here. I'm just going to do this on the other screen so I can see it. Yeah, I'm not, oh, I know why. I'm not getting any inputs right now, and there's a reason for that. It's because in this setup input, I don't know how they, oh, it is working, it is there. So why is it not working then? You son of a... Yeah, movement setup, it's not... I'm kind of confused here. Done this a couple times and never ran into this issue. But let's take a look. Oh, come on. All right. So the tick's working. Yeah, we're seeing us. The look's working. You can see that running. But I'm hitting move right now. That's the move inputs. Nothing's happening. Why is that? Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. It is because on our master character here, where is it? It's in begin play, I believe. Yeah. So, possess, we client possess. Client possess sets our input. So we're getting our inputs overridden here by this guy. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and put it into the sandbox character. Now we should have movement. And believe it or not, we should actually also have traversal stuff right now. So let's take a look. Where's level prototyping? Yep. So right out of the box, that is working. Now there are certain things that aren't going to work right now because we don't have any of the SGK. I'm scrolling, trying to scroll the thingy right now. As you can see, we don't have any. Can't do anything with them. That's just because we need to add the controls into the controller thingy for GASP. All right, so that's basically it. I mean, well, let's get the feet working actually. Oh, why aren't they working? Probably because of the Foley stuff, but let's take a look. Notifies. Receive notify. They got a lot of extra stuff in here. Let's just even see if it's firing real quick first. Yep, just firing. Do we not have sounds? Is that our problem? The audio bank. Never messed with these before. So it looks like it should be there. Not sure why it's not working. I think that what we need to do is what we did before in the other ones is go ahead and go back to our fully notify here. And we're just going to go ahead and delete receive notify. Delete get it audio bank. We can just delete this guy too. And then we're going to reparent this to Footstep. BP Footstep. Now, class defaults, we want to make sure it's enabled. I'm not worried about events up here, but what we do need to do is go through the rest of them, because the rest of them are going to... I don't think we need that. Well, we'll just open them all. Edit. We could have, but you know what, let's do this, be easier. Asset actions, edit selection property matrix. Oh, we can't. Oh, yeah, we can. So we highlight them all. No, that one doesn't have it. You want to make sure that enabled is on for one. And let's just go ahead and double check each one. So that one's got its hand plant and it is left. That one's right. That. And we just want to make sure that our events are correct and we're enabled. And it looks like we are. These don't have them. So yeah, we should be good with those. And of course, that doesn't always work to save all, so. And then there was, oh yeah, we need to go into this guy here. We want to override the function get footbone name. Delete that. Select. And we want, what is this? Side. We want side. Equal equal. We want the equal enum. And we'll put it to right. And then let's see, what are they? If we look at the master here, if we look at our bone settings, foot L, foot R. Yeah, that's what we want to do is, let's see, show inherited variables. Boom, boom. All right. Now, one thing I just remembered that we want to do is we want to go back through all these guys. We're going to need to do one by one, probably. I don't know if we can do this in the batch editor, or probably matrix, we'll see. Yeah, see, all the sound settings have been all reset. Everything has been reset, so you want to just go ahead and you don't want to reset these, you just want to reset the sound, the trace, and the bones. There is nothing set up in the particle effects right now, so we're not worried about that, but yeah. Reset sound, trace, and bone settings on all of them. So now if we just open a random one, we have sound, we have bone settings, we have trace settings. All right, good. Now let's see if it works. I do believe that it should at this point. Maybe not. Oh, yeah, there we go. Sweet. All right, so now that we've got that done, you're saying you said something about multiple characters. So let's go ahead and do this. We already have these characters in here. These, where are they? The retargets. Oh, we didn't get the retargeted characters. I could have swore I did. We got that, but not the actual retarget. That's all right, because all it is. Sorry about that. All that the other ones are just, they're basically children of the sandbox character, so we can just go to our guy here, duplicate him. Or actually, no, we want a child of him, sorry. Delete. Come on. Yeah, of course. Just gotta love UE sometimes. Oh, I'm gonna pause it while it reboots. Alright, now that we've restarted, let's try this again, but the correct way. So I want child blueprint. And we're gonna go ahead and open it up. And really all we're gonna do is, we don't have the arms for this character, but that's alright. We're just gonna show you how easy it is to add a new character. So we go to our driven mesh, set it to that one. That should probably still work fine. We want to do the same thing with the first person body. There's nothing we can do about the arms for now, but first person body also should be driving from the other mesh. We'll see. Oops, I guess it would help to set it to that character. Yep, see, and she's working. Let's take a look and where's the oh, we don't have any of this other stuff, camera or anything like that set up, so there's no way to pick up anything, do anything like that yet. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. What we'll do is we'll just go into our new inputs here for now. You can set this up how you want later, whatever. You could either move some of this stuff. You know what? Let's just do that. That's probably the easiest way to do it, or best way to do it. Just go find our controls here. I'm just gonna rename this real quick. And let's just drag it into our controls folder. All right. So now we're going to go to our character inputs here. We can leave everything here. All that's good. We want to, let's go ahead and turn this into move. A move. We can probably delete the hold crouch input. See, what else do we need? Where's crouch at? Oh, right there. We'll set that to their crouch, which is the IA crouch. We'll set the jump to their jump, IA jump. Sprint, let's change it to theirs. IA sprint. We need a walk. And we need to change. We need to add some of these here too. So and we'll just compare it to theirs. What we can do? Can we just copy? Copy all properties in group. Didn't work for some reason. Why didn't that work? There's no paste option. All right, well, anyway, we can just do these individually. That one. We need a couple more. And this is going to automatically, because some of these have different modifiers on them, and copying them this way should already just add those modifiers in there. Yeah, see. All right. Oops. And then lastly, we need the D. Need the D. No, I don't think we really need the D, but all right, so we're going to go ahead and set these up. I think crouch is also set on that, so we'll set that to C. We got move, we got walk. We're going to need their look, so. Oh, they have an interact too. I didn't know that. Oh, well. So look. We can put that there. And the look is going to be mouse XY 2D axis. Oh. Mouse XY 2D axis. And then what else do we need? Traverse. I did not realize there was a specific key for traverse. I don't think there is there? What is traverse? Well, I guess it's just the same as interesting. I don't think the traverse input is actually being used, but we'll just go ahead and add it anyway. And so we got walk, we got move, walk, look, traverse, walk, traverse. I don't think we need the strafe. We can add it if we want to. Might as well. And I think that they have it set to the middle mouse button. Oops. Let's see. Traverse. Oh no, strafe. Yeah, middle mouse button. Interact. I don't know why they have an interact key for. That's probably for the stuff that you can interact with on the main map and the thingy. I don't know. We don't really need it. We don't need the next character either because we're not doing any of that in here. So we got our mock, move, look, traverse, strafe. Do we need anything else? No, that's all we need. So we can delete this one too. All right, so now what we want to do is go back to our character, master character. And we want to go back into, where is it? It's in the gameplay, client possess, which is actually in the controller. And we want to go ahead and set this back to our SGK because now we should have all of our other movements integrated into there. And we should be able to, oh, well, it's backwards. Interesting. It's like inverted for me. For some reason, I don't know why. But, see, that's something we need to fix real there too. The reason that that's happening is because everything in SGK, the character component and all that, is looking for information off of this mesh, when in reality it needs to be getting it off of this mesh right here. So first thing we're going to do is go down, we're going to copy our tags here. Go ahead and add that in here. We already have those tags to tell it that that's the mesh we're using as far as for the animations. But what we need to do now first is go into the character component. And we want to, is there one visible here? Yes. So Here's an example of it wanting to use that mesh instead of the mesh we need. But we can go ahead and leave this one connected here for the collision because we're going to need it. But what we're going to do is we're going to, from here, go SGK get mesh. And we could just set it to none because it's using none. And this is the, actually, we want to move this over here. Let's see. Just duplicate this guy. Put this up here. Plug that in there. Oh, let's disconnect that then. That. And we want to go here. And because this, we need to replace that mesh. But we can't just hook directly into that because we need to get the skeletal mesh component. And then we can replace that there. No. Yeah, we don't need this to play on that. We need to play on this mesh, not that mesh. We can leave that there, but what we want to do is go ahead and get that guy there. Does it need to go here too? Yeah, it looks like it. All right, so there's that. And then what we can do now is just do a find references. We're not worried about these. We are looking for these. So we need to basically do the same thing here. From here, SGK get mesh. Third person body. The reason we're setting it to third person body is because, like I said at the end of this, I mean, we're using the third person body mesh in there. We're going to have to reset something on there here, though. So we'll get to that. Actually, you know what? Let's do that real quick because right now, with this getting the third person body, it is still getting the one we don't want. So what we need to do is go to our master character, interfaces, character, SGK get mesh, and we want to just go ahead and, oh, why didn't that work? Just replace our mesh with our driven mesh. All right. So now this third person body is actually getting this mesh instead of that mesh, which is exactly what we want. This one we're going to need to cast because we need to get that skeletal mesh component. All right, this one. Same thing. We don't need to worry about this one being a thingy though. We can just delete that because we don't need it. All right, next one. Again, right now we're only looking for these guys here, the ones with the actual little skeleton on it. Next. Make a little room here. And we want that to be our parent. All right, so that's that, don't need that, don't need that. There's another one that we're gonna need, so. SGK get mesh. Third person body. There's another one. Third person body. just going to add it in here too. Oops, we need that one. That's the one we don't need. SGK get mesh. Third person body. Oops. There's another one here. Oh, there's a bunch in here. That's right. All right. So this was, a lot of this is going to get deleted when we, or just bypassed, or not even used when we get to making this into a true first person character, but we'll just go ahead and put this up now. Basically what we're doing is just any place that we have this mesh where it's getting the mesh from a character, we need to use this instead. Now if we turn this into an SGK character, we could just drag directly off here and get that mesh, but this is just a standard character which just has basically what we need. So we're just using the blueprint interface, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. So on this one, we do need to do a skip cast to scale the mesh component. All right, there's one. There's quite a few of them in here that we need to do. Let's just go ahead and, I think we're going to need that on most of them, yeah, because it is playing montages on most of these, so. Here, we could just put this behind it. Oops. So like I said, we're just replacing all these meshes with the get mesh. SGK get mesh. All right. Another one. This one's going to need the cast as well. That goes there. Oh, we could just go right here. Don't need that guy. All right, next. Next. I guess I could put that over there. All right, are there any more? Yeah. Shit, how long did I have the mic muted for? Anyway, you saw what I was doing, so you know what we're doing here. Let's see, I'm trying to find out why that's inverted, because that's kind of annoying. We're not using that one, that's right. What's the look? Should it be inverted? Let's take a look at the other one. Yes, it does. Yeah, negate, okay. So trigger, negate. Or not trigger. Modifier. Alright, now it should not be inversed. Yay, much. Oh, except the left and right are now. Interesting. Ah, that's why, okay. Alright, now we should be good. Yep, alright. Perfecto. Alright, so it's trying to hold it, but it's not. We need to fix some things still. On the weapon itself, it's set up like that, and also I believe in the equipment inventory we need to adjust some stuff. So, equipment inventory. Let's just search for mesh. Oops. Not worried about that. Not worried about that. Or that, or that. Okay, so that's not in there. Let's try player inventory. Yeah, this has nothing to do with the gun, but let's go ahead and we need to do this anyway. This wouldn't really matter, I don't think. No, it wouldn't. But we'll do it anyway. Because this is just the dropping, it doesn't matter what mesh it uses. This one we might... Do we have a mesh in there? Attempt to hold item? Yep, that's our issue right here. It's kind of weird. I wonder why there's some of these are owning character and the other one is SGK character. But I guess it doesn't really matter. Alright. Yeah, this is going to be it too. This one we're going to need the long one on. This one as well. We can probably just go straight to there. Okay, easier just to move this out here. Attachments. Yeah, this is why our weapon wasn't getting held right, because it's trying to hold it in that other mesh that doesn't have any of the sockets we need. Now we could go ahead and add all those sockets onto it, but the animations all use like they want to use that mesh, if you know what I mean. So it doesn't really matter. We want to have it using our mesh for anything that has to do with any of the weapons. Anything that's not directly related to GASP needs to be on our custom mesh, not the main mesh. So, if that makes sense. we want all this to be attached to the driven mesh, not the driving mesh. There's no socket on that? Guess not. Alright, that looks like all of them. We probably need to go through the weapon blueprint as well and change some stuff if I remember correctly, but let's just take a look real quick. That's kind of weird how it does that. Interesting. It doesn't do weird stuff like that on the... See how its neck stretched and everything when it picked up the weapon? That has something to do with the animations merging. It doesn't seem to do that with the standard SGK character. Yeah, that's something we can work out later. Not too worried about it right at the moment. Let's see. Master range weapon. Oops. Yeah, so we don't need that mesh, but because that's the skeletal mesh of the weapon, but we are going to need this one. So to play in a montage, so we need this cast. Next. Skull, that looks like it. It's the only one in there. Yeah, it looks like it. Just the one. Alright. Hopefully it'll be holding now. Nope. Alright, give me a minute here. I'm going to figure out why this isn't working. It should be. I don't know why the hell it isn't, but we'll figure it out. Give me a minute. Alright, so this is the issue is with that actual character. Has nothing to do with the setup here. If we use our master character, it should work fine. It's because I forgot that. Well, now what we could have done is when we made our child here, instead of setting our mesh to this one, what we probably should have done is put that back to Manny, and then go ahead and add a new mesh. And we'll just call this the show mesh. And then we can set that to echo. Oh, she has a separate hair. Interesting. And let's see. Will that work? We'll try it. Set it to the animation. And we can hide this one. And let's see what happens. Oh, yeah, duh. I forgot I put it back to that one, not that one. She's T-posed. Okay. So that's an easy enough fix. It's because we don't have the retarget on that. We don't need, so on her, on this one, we don't actually need an animation blueprint. But what we do need to do is go in here, do that, set leader pose component. We want that, yeah, we want that to be the leader. And we want this to be our follower. And see, now she works. But as you can see, it's kind of stretched out, and that's because it's using the Manny as a base. Now, if we were to set our driven mesh on this character back to echo, we would just need to go into our component tags here. Let's do that, as a matter of fact. Oh, that's master. We want this one. Let's just go ahead and get rid of that. We can delete that. So our where'd the driven mesh go? Oh, right there. All right, we can go ahead and set it back to echo. And then what we need to do is go into, where is it? Where is it? Here. No. We need to go into our third person animation blueprint and on our IK retargeter map. Yeah, come on. All right, it's already there. All we need to do is copy that tag right there and set that tag to this instead of, where is it? Instead of that one, do that one. And we're invisible. It's because we set it invisible. Because I placed the other mesh on top of that one, so we need to go back in here and set it to visible. There we go. That's hilarious how it does that. So, what we would need to do at this point then is, because we're using a separate skeleton and mesh here, we would need to go into our echo character, go into her skeleton, and then add the sockets that we need. Not a huge deal, but I mean, it works fine with the regular character, as you can see. It's just because that character does not have the sockets that we need to hold a weapon. Oh, see, you would just need to adjust third-person IKs. First-person IK should be fine because they're a totally separate animation blueprint. So it's going to be how it is out of the box with SGK. As far as first-person goes, first-person body is not running because we probably need to add the same tag here to the first-person body. You know what? We need to actually have it be the first tag because, as you can see, it's looking for the first tag it finds. So we need to make sure that this is our first tag right here. Oops. And this one can be third person body because third person body is what's looking for third person body is looking through all of the tags for it, not just for the first tag. So now first person body should work. No? Alright, so why is that not working then? This is why I want true first person anyway, because then you don't have to deal with all this extra junk going on here. Do we have should be using the third person animation. Yes, it is. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong one right here. First person body. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. It is using an animation, correct. Third person animation. Does it need to go into... It's already there. Interesting. Not sure why that's doing that. should be working. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. I'm pausing this video for a minute while I try and figure this out. Alright, so the issue is actually pretty simple here. In order to use this part of the retarget pose from mesh, what you're trying to retarget to needs to actually be on something. So I just simply move the first person body onto the main mesh here, our driving mesh, and it works now. Now it looks kind of weird when you look down because you're missing the head and the arms and stuff. First person arms are there, but they're just, you hardly ever see them anyway, and that's just how SGK is by default. But it is using the animations, and when we traverse, it should use those animate. Oh, I don't have a traversal set up. Let's throw one in there real quick. Where is it? Where is it? Right there. Yep, see, it's using the traversal animations. Alright, so that is basically it. That is how you get game animation sample working the easiest way without the least amount of modifications to your character or SGK at all. Because, I mean, it's really extremely simple to remove this if you want. All you have to do is go into the third person animation and boom, you're done. You're back to normal. I mean, you're still going to work like it did when you first got SGK. So, except for the movement, of course, you'd have to reset that, but it's really pretty simple. You could just, what you could do on the character is just set the parent back to character. Then you'd have to go back into inputs, of course, and reconnect everything that we disconnected, and then reset your inputs back into your thingy. But I mean, for the most part, it is like it's really not that intrusive. You don't have to modify too much of your game to get this to work. And if you want to remove it, it's not hard at all. So there it is. So I'm going to take, we'll call this the end of this video. And then we're going to take over from this, what we have in this project right here, and turn this character into a true FPS, meaning that we only have one mesh in play. It'll be this, well, we're going to have the driven mesh and our main mesh, but we're not going to have the first person body. We're not going to have the first person arms. So we're going to delete all that. All right. So enjoy what you have right here, if that's all you're going to do. If not, we'll see you in the next video. All right. So a couple more things here. First of all, if we want to get rid of that sound when we're scrolling, go into our sandbox character, event graph. Down here, we can just disconnect all these, and that will get rid of that sound. And that little message, because we're not really using any of these, because we're not using the camera setup they had. We're using the camera setup from SGK. And then also, if you notice here, we won't have any more sounds. Again, you just need to adjust the IKs in the third person to fix this. It doesn't affect first person at all. But there is one issue here. Notice? He's climbing up that without using his hands, which is kind of funky. So, what we can do to fix that is go into, we need to go into characters, UEFN mannequin, animations. We want traversal. Now we're going to have to go through all of these. But let's see, I think that the climbs are the ones that we can use to show it the easiest. Basically what we need to do is we'll just add a new track here. And we want to add a notify. And we want a disable hand IK. Sometime right before he reaches for it. Put it about right there, should be fine. And then we want a disable hand IKs. You want that to be somewhere near where you can see from the shadow. Like once he's done doing all of his traversal stuff, so probably about right there would be good. And maybe a little bit further, right there. Yeah, that should be good. So then we can just copy both of these guys and go through all of them. Add a new track. Just do it like that. We're just going to leave them exactly where they're at because we're not trying to be perfect right now. We're just showing you what you need to do. You can adjust these where you need to get them to the right spot. So you want to do this to every one of these montages for traversal. And there are a few. I'm going to go ahead and do the mantles too because I think those are going to be also used to what we're doing right here. Unfortunately, you can't do this in the property matrix. So we're just doing the same thing to everyone. Creating a new track. Adding in our new notifies. Now you would, if you're doing this, you'd want to adjust them so that they're perfect. Which you can always do later. But we're just making it work right now. Alright, that should do it, I think. This should make it work. Oh wait, there is more we have to do, I think, but let's just double check. Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, so what we need to do is, geez, where was that? The notify. We need to go into survival game kit, notifies, and in the enable and disable hand IKs. See what it's doing is it's getting the mesh component and then getting the animation instance from the mesh component and then telling it if it should turn the hand IKs on or off or not. Problem with that is that this mesh component that's coming out right here is actually our UEFN mannequin. And since we don't have the hand IK stuff on the on the sandbox character animation, this isn't going to work. It's going to fail to cast every time because this isn't linked to the animation instance. So there's a couple ways we can do this. What we can do is get children components, loop through. And get skeletal mesh component. And that's going to be great for what we're doing here because on this guy, because we only have the one mesh. But doing this way, if you have a modular character with multiple meshes, probably not going to work out so hot. But it doesn't really matter because even if it does go through every single one, not everything has the animation blueprint, so it's just going to fail. But it's just more stuff that's going on at the given time. So what we can do then is, instead, if you have the modular character, what we can do here is get child component. And then what you'd want to do is just put a print string on here. Let's see. We'll just do it like that for now. We'll just leave everything disconnected because it's not going to work anyway. But what we're looking for, if we want to see, we want to find the child we want to find the mesh that uses this animation blueprint through this, so we can do some testing here. If this is the right... Why does it say failed to find montage? That's weird. Okay, so yeah, see, it found the throw point as index 0. So let's go ahead and take a look at index 1. Let's see what that is. Actually, let's just take a look at our character. I'm not sure exactly how it determines which is 1 and 2 and 3 and all that, but so we're looking on here. It's finding the throw point. It's kind of weird. We want it to find this guy here. So throw point was index 0. Camera boom is probably going to be the next one. We'll see. So index 1. Didn't use that montage that time for some reason. Okay, yeah, first person camera. So let's try, where were we? Let's try 2. Didn't work at that time for some reason. Camera boom. Oop. Let's try 3. Didn't find it that time. See, it's kind of intermittent. All right, so there's the one we're looking for right there. So, component 3 is what we want to use. Or index 3. So, we would do get child component, and we would need to cast a skeletal mesh, hook it up to the animation instance there, and then, yeah, this is ugly and messy, but it's all right. Again, this would be fine if you're only using a single main driven mesh, but if you're using a modular character, this is just extra code being run for no reason. It'd be better to just do it this way right here. Figure out which index your mesh is, the driven mesh, and set it up like so. Oops. So we're getting the child component of the mesh, which is going to be our Manny mesh. And then we're getting the animation that Manny is using and setting it to do that. So what we want to do then is go ahead and copy this. And go back in here to our notifies, and we want enable hand IKs, and we're going to do the same thing. All right, so now again, I don't know why it doesn't work every single time. Maybe we need to go, maybe it's using animations that we haven't set it onto yet, but that one didn't work. That one did, see? But he did not re-enable the IK, which is kind of weird. Yeah. It probably has something to do with timing on the animations. You just need to be set in the correct place. And like I said, I've only done a couple, so there's still a lot of animations in here in the traversal that I haven't done, like all the vaults, the hurdles, and then everything in here in the catch. So you just want to go ahead and add those enable and disable IKs to all of the montages, and once every single one is all set up, so there's 78, so half of that, that's how many should be montages. 34 montages. You need to go and add the enable and disable IKs in and set them up so that they're in a good spot, and that should take care of IKs when you jump for the most part. Again, it's even in my main project, I feel like it doesn't work every time. I'm not exactly sure why that is. Alright, so after a little more research here, it turns out that what's going on here with the IKs being inconsistent is that they need to be basically at the end of the pose search branch. Because what this is actually searching for an animation, and it might use this animation, or it might not. and it's basically it's starting the animation at this point right here. So you need to make sure that that's there. And we probably need to make sure that this is here too. There are several times when the IKs don't reset after jumping. So I think that that might have something to do with it. This probably needs to go before that. So yeah, you want to make sure that your disable is after the end of any post search branch. And then go ahead and put the enable panned IKs just slightly in front of this one right here. And then that should take care of it for the most part, it seems like. I mean, it's, you saw it was working earlier. So he got his hands. The other thing is it starts a little late. No, it didn't. I think I moved back too quickly on that one, so it didn't reset the hand IK. So yeah, you probably really need to set the setting it back like as immediately as possible, because that's what, here, watch, we'll try it real quick, see if we can make it happen. All right, yeah, see, I pulled off the ledge before it had a chance to fire the trigger to get the IK back on the hand, so you just have to kind of play around with it, figure out what works best, but it does look like it's working pretty much 100% of the time now. As long as it's past that pose search database part on the animation montage, it should work. So there you go.